Not every inland country lacks a navy, nor does every coastal nation possess one. Kazakhstan, the world's largest landlocked country, has developed the world's largest and most formidable inland navy, thanks to the Caspian Sea, the world's largest lake. What kind of navy is this? And why would a landlocked country like Kazakhstan need to build a navy? Does Kazakhstan actually have a navy? Without question, they do indeed have one. Kazakhstan borders the Caspian Sea and also has access to the Aral Sea. However, Kazakhstan only maintains a navy in the Caspian Sea, not in the Aral Sea. They once had a navy of over 2,000 personnel to patrol the 8,000 square kilometer lake. However, due to the near disappearance of the Aral Sea and good relations with neighboring Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan's leadership saw no need to maintain a naval presence there. Since maintaining a navy is extremely costly, Kazakhstan, as a developing country, naturally didn't want to spend enormous resources on two naval forces. Therefore, they chose to focus their naval presence on the Caspian Sea rather than the Aral Sea. Why would Kazakhstan establish a navy on an inland lake like the Caspian Sea? What's the reasoning behind this? The Caspian Sea, situated at the intersection of Europe and Asia, is the world's largest inland lake. It contains 14% of the world's total lake volume, significantly larger than all 5 Great Lakes of North America combined. The Caspian Sea borders Russia, Azerbaijan, Iran, Turkmenistan, and Kazakhstan, making it the lake that borders the most countries in the world. Historically, the Caspian Sea was part of the ancient Mediterranean Sea, along with the Aral Sea, Mediterranean Sea, Black Sea, and Sea of Azov. After geological changes and the gradual disappearance of the ancient Mediterranean, the Caspian Sea remained as a remnant, which geographers refer to as a marine lake. The Caspian Sea is shallower in the north and deeper in the south, with depths ranging from 4 to 6 meters in the shallowest parts to 20 meters in the deepest areas. Its total area is 380,000 square kilometers, comparable to Japan, and significantly larger than Germany or the United Kingdom. Such a large body of water cannot belong to just one country, necessitating a navy to protect national maritime interests. As a Caspian Sea bordering nation, Kazakhstan absolutely should have a navy to defend its territorial waters. Speaking of navy, how large is Kazakhstan's Caspian Fleet? Kazakhstan's navy is significantly larger than Mongolia's navy, which consists of only 7 people, 3 boats, 2 cannons, and 1 engine. In contrast, Kazakhstan's naval forces total 10,000 personnel. Previously, the Soviet Union maintained a fleet in the Caspian Sea, but after its collapse, this fleet became part of Russia rather than Kazakhstan. After independence, Kazakhstan quickly established its own armed forces, but these only included Army and Air Force components. Kazakhstan felt it was essential to establish a Caspian fleet, primarily due to the discovery of significant oil and natural gas reserves in the region. These resource discoveries rapidly elevated the Caspian Sea's strategic importance. Additionally, the region's location at the crossroads of Asia and Europe makes it strategically crucial. Therefore, both economic and strategic considerations made establishing a navy necessary. In June 1993, Kazakhstan organized a small naval fleet. Initially, Kazakhstan hoped to acquire 30 vessels left from the former Soviet Caspian Fleet, but Russia declined this request. Kazakhstan then began considering importing vessels from other countries. This shows Kazakhstan's determination wasn't dampened, as the rich resources in the Caspian region convinced them not to abandon their naval ambitions despite this setback. On August 17, 1996, the Kazakhstan Navy was officially established. Unexpectedly, their first naval mission encountered a severe storm. Due to improper operation by the crew, almost the entire fleet was lost in the Caspian Sea. After such a significant setback, one might expect them to abandon their naval aspirations, as the accident's impact was severe. This forced Kazakhstan to temporarily suspend their navy-building efforts, and the remaining vessels and personnel were incorporated into the border guard forces. Several years later, in 2003, Kazakhstan restarted its naval program and established a naval command headquarters the following year, giving Kazakhstan an institution to manage naval operations. However, this institutional establishment didn't accelerate naval development, and during this period, naval units remained under border guard control. After the naval force was established, they purchased some equipment, and several countries provided aid for Kazakhstan's naval development. After 2010, Kazakhstan felt it was crucial to accelerate naval development, so they steadily increased personnel and strengthened equipment. 2 years later, Kazakhstan successfully developed their own vessels, producing about 4 ships capable of speeds up to 30 knots and equipped with missiles and artillery. These few vessels are adequate for protecting their oil fields unless faced with interference from major foreign powers. Kazakhstan's navy of around 10,000 personnel includes the Caspian Fleet, naval infantry, coastal defense forces, and various vessels including missile boats and frigates. While some vessels were purchased from abroad, a large portion was produced domestically by Kazakhstan. A navy of 10,000 personnel is neither particularly large nor small, as a country's naval size should be determined by its specific circumstances. From all this, we can understand that Kazakhstan established its navy primarily to protect oil and gas fields in the Caspian region, rather than to protect a traditional coastline, as they are not a coastal nation, but rather a landlocked country. Their naval force needs to be relatively strong to deter potentially hostile neighboring nations. Globally, besides Kazakhstan, many landlocked countries maintain navies, such as Mongolia with its minimal force, as well as Austria, Hungary, Paraguay, and even the highland nation of Switzerland, which maintains a symbolic naval force.